Hey, my wonderful divine feminine energies who are Aquarian placements. My apologies for getting this reading out so late. I know it's the 17th of July. We still have a couple weeks left in the month, so this hopefully will still help you. But I gotta tell you, I started cardinal, mutable, fixed, and Aquarians, it was like so much energy here. I felt like this is fascinating as I say this. When I initially channeled for feminine Aquarian energy at the beginning of the month, because I actually started to record some of these earlier, but then I pulled back because it had been a couple of weeks. I wanted to redo it. I was channeling some black within your aura, and that's not always bad, guys. That can be grief and sadness, but also it can be like you were feeling like the sun was going down because of your emperor, right? Like they were trying to control you in some way, and you were just feeling like, oh no. But I feel like many of you over the last couple of weeks have already cleared that. You're like, no, I'm not looking at you like some amazing, great person. You're actually imbalanced as fuck, and I'm the goddamn sun. It's like you flip-flopped. You took your energy back the last couple of weeks. And if you haven't quite done that, do that. As I was channeling for you, it was actually someone with an air hockey table. And it was like one of those things, you know how that like makes noise and it's really intense. Like as a child, I used to play that all the time with my brothers in the basement and it gets loud, right? I feel like that's where you're at. Every time you feel their energy, you're like, no, gone, done. Keep doing that, okay? You don't have to put a lot of effort into it at this point if you've already gotten to that place. But make sure you're protecting your energy, okay? With everyone, but especially when it comes to that emperor, okay? They're not there yet. Feel free to watch your masculines readings as well to get a beat on where they might be. But yes, also I was channeling a carousel, a carnival, like someone on a beautiful carousel. Like I once went to Disney with my kids, and there's like a huge one there, and it was just the things go up and down, and the horses and the animals, and like I don't know, it was just this like childlike feeling of like you. It's childlike, but it also is like you feel like you're going in the same circle. You're like, can I get off the carousel now? Like this is beautiful and fun and magical, but like, is it gonna change? Is it gonna change? And the scenery there will change as you make the moves to change it. As fixed placements, people run the risk of being too dug in and stubborn and rigid in their ways. And my only Aquarius placement is my midhaven, and that's how I serve the collective. And I know sources had to shake me up in that. Christina, I know this is the way you like to do things. We got to shake things up. Sometimes your readings or this or that are not going to go the way you want them to go. You got to be more flexible. And I'm like, all right, okay. And I'm having to learn that lesson all the time and just flow with it. So flow on that carousel, but understand you can get off of it at any time and go check out another ride. Do you get what I'm saying? Like whatever it is you're dreaming of, I feel like it could be financial. This doesn't even feel like love. I feel like it's a new career. It's some new opportunity. It's like you're out of your head. You're like, I know what I want. But for some reason, you can't get through those steps. So ask yourself, what's the step I can take first? And also part of it, Aquarian energy here, the star reversed. You don't feel worthy of getting off that ride. Guys, we got to focus on this. And especially when it comes to sexual energy, okay? Many of you feminines, especially when you go into separation, you begin to feel weird pulls of sexual energy. Some of that is tied to your counterpart. You guys are connected, the world here. But it's also asking you to explore your sexuality from previous lives, from this current life, from the way the world looks at sex, nudity, kink, whatever you want to call it. Ask yourself, okay, what do I really want? Am I ashamed of this? Am I embarrassed by this? How do I feel about this? How do I feel naked? How do I feel safe and secure in this? And understand that no one's ever going to be perfectly like, I'm just so great at that. Like, no, like it's going to be weird. But so often, it's like I saw someone talking the other day about movies and how these movies always have sex scenes in them. But she's like, it's ridiculous because it's like they make out and then suddenly it's like they're thrusting and they're, and I had an orgasm. And that's not sex. And I want you to really ask yourself, what is foreplay? What is gentleness? What is that weird, awkward, like, oh shit, did that just happen? Like, can I laugh? Can I be silly? Can I be free? Can I do this sober, right? Some people always want to be drunk or high or this or that, and I get that. And oftentimes that's an indication that you're with the wrong partner. I know with my ex-husband, a lot of times that's what that was. And so I speak from experience, and so don't shame yourself for this, okay? It's okay. But I want you to focus, even mirror work might be significant right now. Looking in the mirror. Yeah, it says, oh, okay, this is funny. A notification on my thing came up. It said, whoops, something has crashed. And it hasn't. I'm good, okay? This always pops up right when I need it in a reading. But something crashed inside of you where you just decided, I'm not worthy, this is just who I am. Like, it's like, you know, you're hot, you know, you're attractive maybe, but like, you don't see yourself the way other people see you. You don't really see how beautiful you are. You don't really see how powerful you are. You don't really see yourself as sexy and divine and like dripping in diamonds, right? Like, that is what I need you to focus on the next 2 weeks, okay? We're in Cancer season. It's a great time. Today is the 17th. Venus is in Cancer. This is a really great time to just get sensual with yourself and like, what would I like? What would I want? Like, what does this look like? Because I feel like, you know, everybody's taking what they think sex should be based on what society has told them it should be. And I need you to think, what do I want? And don't worry about your counterpart. Understand that what you want is what they want. You mirror. So yeah, there's a whole spicy variety here, you guys. Like, I'm picturing like a spice cabinet with like all these spices. It's like, which one you want to try, you know? Like, explore this, okay? Surrender to yourself. Surrender to that deep subconscious that you actually maybe have superficially explored, but not really explored because you're insecure. And that's okay. Everybody, every divine feminine placement goes through this. And by the way, every masculine at some point has to go through this, okay? But right now for the feminine energy, this is what you need to be going through. And also, I encourage all of you, please be watching both your masculine and your feminine, not just your counterpart, you. If you're an Aquarius, also watch the Aquarius Divine Masculine reading. Because the more you align, the more both of these messages are going to resonate with you. You're going to say, oh, I am kind of working on that, and I'm working on this, okay? And so it's really important that people begin to see. That's why I'm posting both. I want people to see that both messages will be resonating and that it's not separate. We continue to separate the masculine and feminine energy instead of understanding we were all imbalanced, but as we come back into balance, we're in union. And our sun sign, our moon, our rising will be accurate, both the masculine and feminine, for where we are currently. So ask yourself if you have difficulty with that. Like, why do I not want to, I don't want to hear the masculine, I don't want to hear the feminine read. Ask yourself why that is, okay? Because ideally you're embodying both, all right? So yeah, right now, some of you might be having trouble communicating your truth. Many of you might have just met a twin recently, or you've kind of had a twin come in and out maybe, and you're having difficulty communicating the truth to them. You're not laying down boundaries here. And so I want you to get really real. Now is the time, right now, we're in Cancer season. If there is something you need to communicate, you need to communicate it now and clearly. A balanced air sign here, okay? You guys are air signs, right? Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. A balanced energy is very clear and concise in the way they communicate. They're very quick about it. They're very, I mean, you're logical, but you're clear. You're in your heart space. You're very quick about this. You're like, this is what I want. This is how I feel. And you accept, you know, okay, what's the response here? You're not afraid. You have a sword. You're not afraid. You're not mean, but you're very definite in what you want. So for you, if it's someone you want a relationship with and you feel like they're not engaging in that or they don't want that, then lay that sword down and say, look, I have a connection with you. I can't lose you. I really want this connection. Is this something you're open to? Can we speak about this? Can we see one another? And if they're like, nope, and they go ghost or whatever, well, okay. You work through that pain and you move forward. Now you know, though. Now you don't have to sit there and wonder, what would have happened had I just got up the courage to communicate my truth to someone? And this is something everyone has to learn on the journey, okay? Everyone. All right, that feels like an energy. All right, Aquarians, there's a lot here in the next 2 weeks. So communicate your truth, focus on your worthiness, focus on some sexual energy there, like what you really want, sexual clearing. Again, watch the masculine read because those are both linked and tied, okay? But yeah, you need to, some of you with your masculines, okay, so that feels like a release. If you've already done that and you know you've done that, great. Now don't move forward. Stay out of the conflict, especially if it's energy, you guys. That hockey table, throw it back, okay? And this could be family and friends too, just imbalanced people in your life. It's not your job to save anyone. It's not your job to tell them spirituality is real and this and this and this. No, it's like me. Everyone's like, well, your job, you're online. I'm online serving the people that want to come view my content and are learning and growing from it. I'm not walking around outside like, oh, you and you, come over here, let's talk. I want to help you. My friends, many of them are in and out with me. They're not sure. They're like, I kind of, and I've had to just let them go. You know, I've had to just be like, it's not their time right now. And I know that's hard. You feel alone. You feel kind of foolish. But I'm telling you, you're going to feel light as a feather. You're going to feel so much better if you're just like, I'm taking my little bag, I'm moving off my life. I don't need to carry all of this with me. That is other people's shit, not mine. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm a free little bird, right? Freedom, that Aquarian energy. It's like, only flow and go forward with the people you know are your soul family, your soul tribe, right? And right now, if you're like in your emotions here, Queen of Cups, Cancer season, where you're feeling like, but I don't know where they are and I don't have soul family and this and that, I get it. It's hard. But Source is sending these connections in, and understand it is occurring for the collective. More people are awakening, okay? You know, me, it's like I had the opportunity to go out last night and I was invited to something this evening and I'm like, thank you, God. And that came out of nowhere. Okay. Also, family and friends. Some of you might be called to like reconnect with some of them. Maybe you've pulled back in your healing process, but now you need to step forward a little bit and just re-engage a little bit. Just see where the energy is. And again, if it's not quite there, you can always pull back. But some of you have some last bit of healing to do around family. Okay. There might be something you're not addressing there. It could also be some shadow work. But this actually feels like speaking, you know, that's the other thing. That King of Swords with communication, you could be being called, if you've already released your counterpart, you could be being called to speak truthfully to your family. And again, this is not blaming. This is not preaching. This is just setting clear boundaries. If you have a parent or someone in your life, a sibling, and you're like, this isn't working, you just need to say the truth. You know, I have a lot of family that criticize what I do, and I'm just like, this is what I do. I know my truth, and I'm going to speak it. And you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to be in my life if you do not want to, but this is who I am. 10 of Pentacles. You have money coming in, guys, especially by the end of the month. You're going to have some good, some type of like, the word gift is coming in, but it feels like a gift from the universe. It could be a bonus on a paycheck, a sudden, like, you found a gift card, like something weird here, like money coming in. Look at this. I don't know. Does this have to do with your counterpart? 4 of Wands. Maybe you have commitment coming in. We got a King of Cups. You guys, your counterpart is heavy in their emotions. And maybe you're, again, in that masculine energy where you're feeling emotional. There we got a Queen of Wands. We got a King of Wands reverse. This is some emotion. But today, as we talk about, Venus is in Cancer. This is a highly emotional time for people. It can also be a really beautiful time to get vulnerable and real. So, you know, when it comes to energy, because I just asked the question here, I said, are they supposed to tap in energetically? The answer is yes, okay? Tap into that energy, but understand, let your guard down a bit. But be very clear in how you communicate what it is you want energetically. Does that make sense? I know we're always discussing this. People are at different places on their journey, but there's communication in 3D and there's communication energetically or in the dream, right? This is highly spiritual. And I know the energy swings are rapid. It is confusing. But I know many of you who've pulled back and done that air hockey thing that I'm talking about. Keep doing that with other energies. Keep doing that if this person's not healed or you've only recently released. Keep doing that. But if you've been in separation for a long time and you've been doing that for a while, I feel like you could kind of tap into some of that. This feels very like I'm reading for like 3 different divine feminine collectives of Aquarians right now. So please be mindful of where you are in your journey. If you need more clarification, my website, gingermama.com, has free blog content on wounded and healed feminine and masculine energy. We all want to embody both. It also has a great blog if you scroll down to the bottom on the twin flame journey. And so you can get a better idea of where you are. I also have a great blog, which I really encourage people, especially if you have a counterpart coming back in that's emotionally available, because this feels like that's definitely a possibility. You could also have another counterpart with it that is an air sign or air sign placements, a masculine energy that wants to communicate with you. There's a blog there, though, that I have about letting your guard down when your person comes back, right? So maybe consider reading that. But God, Aquarian energy, this is like a lot. Yeah, joy. Facade. Don't put on a facade that you're happy if you're not, by the way. Don't do that. Okay? If you're communicating with this person or they reach out to you, tell the truth. Because again, people think they know you through a picture or the internet. I love when people think they know my shit. Don't put on a facade. Tell the truth to this person. Tell the truth of how painful your journey has been. Okay? Speak clearly and concisely. That just seems very important for you, that throat chakra. Speak clearly and concisely this month. Okay? Whoever you're communicating with. Same with family. Don't put on a facade that you're super happy and super light and love all the time if you're not. Okay? Part of that journey is being able to humble ourselves in that way and be honest with ourselves. And maybe you just need to be honest with yourself. Are you happy? Are you putting on a facade? I love you, Aquarians. I'd love for you to subscribe if this resonates with you. I will see you back next month for Leo season. You know, I feel like many of you are going to be feeling a lot better. My crown tingles as I say that. As we approach July 28th, you know, you got like 10 more days here. Get through it. It's going to get better, okay? If you're doing the work, it's